So that shiny new game just came out. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. And you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. This is my first time in this game series, so I am way behind on lots of information. So this little look into the game will be coming from someone who knows nothing at all about the series. I played for about 1 hour, and within that 1 hour, there was a lot of cutscenes with dialogue and story. I'd say about 30 to 40 minutes of the time that I played was just cutscenes. Luckily, the scenes were well made and interesting to follow along to. The beginning part is a girl coming out of what I presume is a club. The main character, whose name I won't try to pronounce, is working as a bodyguard for this girl. Some thugs want to get to her, but you fight them off. The combat is alright. You have a few different attacks that you can do, as well as some other attacks that can be done at specific times. One thing I do not understand is the colors that come off his fists when he punches. I can't tell if that's just the game making it look cool, or if he actually has some sort of powers. Maybe one of you can catch me up to speed on that. Regardless, the combat seems nice and fluid. It's fun. Most games I play have guns, so this is a nice change of pace. Eventually, there's a memory scene. He gets shot protecting a woman and child, then wakes up in a hospital. A man in a suit that represents an organization that I will also not even try to say is there and seems on the shady side. He wants the guy who was shot to accept hush money and keep their secrets safe. The guy who was shot, though, the main character, wants to add to that. He wants them to fake his death. Another scene with him talking to someone from the organization, and the gist of it, as I understand, is that the organization is paying an orphanage and using the threat of stopping payments to make sure he stays in line and stays an ally with them. So even after faking his death and all of that, the main character's relationship with this organization still seems shaky at best. As I understand it, he's a past legendary Yakuza member. Once he faked his death, he's doing some odd jobs here and there for this organization under fake names. The next job is simply security. A truck with cargo is on its way for pickup. I was able to walk around briefly here, and I could actually switch to first person, which was interesting. You can't fight in first person or anything in first person other than just walk around. Kinda weird. Also, you can pull up a camera and take photos or selfies, which also seemed weird to me in a game like this. One of the other guys doing security knows his real identity and wants to fight him, so I beat them all up and put them in their place. Then it's back to security, and when the truck shows up, it's a trap. Enemies with bats and molotovs jump out and attack. After I defeat my enemies, there's another scene. The guy who picked a fight with me earlier is sent to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, that's a home run. Then begins a big fight with all the thugs. I picked up a bat and started beating them with it myself. The bat is pretty powerful, and I loved how they got flung backwards by it. What's left of the thugs get into the van and escape. During the fight, one of the thugs recognized the main character, and that seems like it'll be a future point in the story. Could that person be someone he knew from before? Time will tell. After that, I need to go to the city to see what I can find out at an office. Here the map is a little bit bigger, but still very small. I looked at the upgrades that I could do. Most of them were locked, but the ones I could get cost money. I did buy a few. There are some vendors here where you can buy things like armor or bracelets or clothing that protect you from various things like blades or bleeding. Also, you can buy health or a drink that charges your heat gauge, which is something used while fighting. I called it quits right here while roaming around this little city area. I really did not get that far into the game. I played an hour like I said, but a lot of it was story. As my first game in this series, I came away with a good general opinion about it. The story is interesting to follow, which is good because there's lots of it. The fighting isn't grindy or dragged out too long, so I appreciate that. This game seemed solid to me. When you think of games, maybe some have weak points or strong points, but this game just felt well-rounded and just solid overall. It seems like I had more story scenes than actual fighting though. Maybe a 60-40 split or a 65-35 split. This could definitely put some people off if all they want to do is fight, but you can skip through all of those scenes if you want. I never did that though. I like the game and what I've played so far. That's my personal opinion though. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.